How you guys doing? Hi, Funk, In and Out, Geezer, John, Williams watches. Okay, Bruce, how you doing, Bruce? Kiddo. Hey, Mr. Gumby. Evening from Guernsey in the Channel Islands. Oh my goodness, how interesting. Hey, let me ask you something, Mr. Gumby. Are you guys under the same kind of isolation and quarantine that the rest of us are? Or I mean, or is Guernsey sort of just being Guernsey without having to have all the isolation we have? What have they done on Guernsey? Howdy, howdy. Hey, Raj. Hey, Donald. How you doing? Um, okay, let me sort of fill you in. Yes, indeed, lockdown here also. Okay, well, it doesn't respect even Guernsey, and if it can't do that, Hey, Junior, Mark, Johnny Cab, how are you? Mark, how are you? And Dominic, Watch Habit. Okay, okay. Here's what we need. I got. Um, we're talking today. I heard from some of you guys who are here this morning. You know this. I heard from Rolf Lang in Dresden, and he said, well, yeah, we could do it. And it was something like I'm not sure whether he was talking about 5 watches or 5 movements, but he thought it was better to do it in gold. They were like $5,000 a piece, which wasn't what I had in mind exactly for just the movement. It's sort of the goal is between $500 and $1,000 for a really first class movement. Sort of the model for that has been Vaucher, but the problem with Vaucher is that Vaucher requires you to get 25. Hi, Eddie. So there were some other suggestions that came up. One was, hey, Rich Buddy, Mark. One was that we take a look at UWD, okay, Urin Werks Dresden. Now, this is the Lang and Hein movement, and I had I talked to the wrong person. I was talking to the customer service person, and I asked her. I asked her about that, and never heard back. In other words, it's sort of like I don't know why. It was sort of like not my department. So NS something, uh, Drew, he got in touch with him, and they said they're going to send him a price list on Monday, which sounds great. Now that is a movement that would really be fantastic to have our mitts on. We'll see what the price is, and we'll see what other kinds of things is. So I'm just letting Drew handle it because apparently he handled it pretty well. Now, the other one, which I thought was a great idea, was Chopard LUC movement. And the Chopard LUC movement, apparently, I guess you can get a Chopard LUC movement. And I'm not quite sure what all of the different parameters on that are, but that's sort of cool. By the way, I mentioned I got a strap yesterday, and this one was I'll tell you where it's from after you see it. It's really neat. It comes with its own spring bar tool. It comes with a little spring bar tool and an extra pin bar or spring bar. And the watch itself is let me see, it comes sealed like this. Let's see if I can get here we go. And it's called WOSI. And this is the kind of thing I was talking about. It's essentially it's a leather band stamped, Gator stamped. And it's like without having to go through the hassle of getting one guaranteed and farmed and so forth. But you can go down to most local watch stores and get anything you want. But this was a nice little option, and like I said, it came with its own uh, spring bar tool. Anyway, so and it comes in a nice little box. So that's one example of what we can do with this. Okay, now that's so we have a lot of options that we didn't have before. And so, any ideas or comments? What do you think? The e-site from Bashir says 25 is the oscillating masses need an engraving. They do not specify non-engraved. Ah, oh boy, John, thank you. I didn't, I thought it was minimum of 25. Okay. There's another one that they will do something else for you with. I will check that out. Maybe, well, in fact, John, you apparently can read better than I can. Why don't you check, John, and find out what the minimum number is? That'd be nice. Let's see. I ordered a Bergeon tweezer today to change bracelet straps. Looking forward to getting it soon. Very cool. There's a tool I got for bracelets, and it's like a punch, and you punch out a piece. I've never done that before, so have to have something to learn. Okay, what else is going on? What about Benjamin Che movements? I keep seeing his post on Horology Talk and HHL. Benjamin Che did some really wonderful stuff, okay? And he gets he has different places where he gets his movements from. The latest one, I think, is a very high level Vaucheur that's coming, and so I can't say too much about it. I'm not sure how much Ben has talked about it, but Ben is a real mover and shaker. I like Ben a lot. Okay, hey Tim, how you doing, man? Okay. Yeah, this is it. It just they're not very expensive, and like I said, it's from Amazon, and like it comes in a nice little box. My wife put it through the our decontamination center, so it took a couple days. She blasted everything, and then I don't know. I'm surprised it didn't have to make a visit to the microwave. Hey, Dr. A and B, how you doing? Okay, thanks, John. That would be great. I appreciate it because sometimes I won't. I know how important it is to say the right thing and contact the right thing. I don't want to give the impression that I'm ready to buy something and then back off. And so sometimes I'm a little too informal and they get blown off on that, which is my own fault, I suppose. But Drew had said it had talked to him in a certain way. Now, I think that as far as I can see, as far as I know, the dimensions of the UWD, the Uhren Werks Dresden, that sounds almost ideal because it's a beautiful, just gorgeous movement that was designed by Marco Lang. But I'm not sure how big it is. So anyway, hi Giovan, how you doing? But be careful, they are so sharp you could end up scratching the lugs. Okay, good advice. I thought you were gonna say be careful because you can poke yourself, which I've done a lot. All right, let's see, definitely be sure to tape the lugs when you use those tweezers. Ah, good, good suggestions. Now, what are you guys using the tweezers for? Um, I'm You're not using them to put in the spring bars, are you? That wouldn't seem to be the right tool for it. You'd use the spring bar tool for that. I'm just curious because there's all kinds of things that you use the, tweezers for. I'm not sure that's one of them. Change bracelets. Okay, sorry. You're right. Forgot. Thanks, Watch Habit. Yeah, I keep thinking of these. You're right. Yeah, I'd forgotten you had said that before. Soprod has a new movement called Newton R4 is chronomet grade. Okay, that's good to know, Mark. Hey, Crappy, how you doing? Guten Tag. Wow, man, you speak German too. How neat. Mostly taking off bracelets off of Rolex. I really like those bracelets. Take the bracelet off, throw the Rolex away, and put something else on it. If Rolf found out that we have took Marco's movements instead of his, well, it will. This is a reason for diplomacy. Rolf is really going off in another direction. I think. I mentioned this morning. There's this really fancy French glass company, and he's doing something with them, and I'm not sure what. And I think the watches he's making extremely high level watches, which I think is more enjoyable. And it was sort of like, well, I could do 5 of these for you. And he was suggesting having gold and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's not going to be something that we're going to announce in the at Basel World if they have it. We chose Marco over Rolf. It's not going to happen. Hi, the Watch Lounge. How you doing? Um, okay, got your Seiko on. All right. Um, all right. So, anyway, so looking at these options, I think what if we can get one, what I'd like to do is get my mitts actually on a UWD, buy one, and then we'll have all of the information that we can go back to Wouter Lannon and Kalen and say, okay, well, we got this movement now. What do we need to put all of this together? Okay, 33.1 is 33 millimeters. I can't find the thickness. Okay, good one, Mark. 33. The other one was 37. And it would be really easier to figure that out. Okay, but that'll be the next thing. If it's 33 millimeters for the 33.1, then I think that ought to go into a 40 millimeter because that'll give us 7 millimeters, which would be 3.5 millimeters all the way around. So that ought to be enough, I think. And anybody, does that sound right to everybody? Hey, Truth Fears, how you doing? Howdy, some Truth Fears. 39 millimeter tops. Truth Fears, what does that mean? 39 millimeters tops. I think there's a lag here. By the way, is the sound, I didn't ask, is the sound and the movement okay? I guess nobody's if something goes wrong, I get no one. I get told right away, no more than 39 millimeters. Well, it may be 40, but if you can get it into that, I'll put out a press release today that the pretentious watch from Squash Dog USA isn't going to attend Basel World. Please do that. I think it's important for us, and then we'll join at. Tell them we're joining the Geneva gang. Okay, great. Thanks, Howdy. Okay, good. Thanks, Mark. It's sometimes we've been having a stream just sort of goes woof. Um, okay, yeah. Truthers, what we're trying to do, the one that Rolf Lang had was 37 millimeters, and they said there's no way they could do it with 37 millimeters. So we'll take a look at this next one. Still interested in a Corona Memento watch with the initial discussed designed elements. Am biased toward a Swiss movement, though. Okay. Well, this is another thing we can talk about. We can talk about options. I think that, when we find out about Chopard, I think that would be another, if they have something that we can get from them. But I got to tell you right now that UWD movement is one I would use. I don't care if it's from Timbuktu. That's a movement I really like. Have you guys seen that yet? I'll have to get. The problem. Usually I can bring up paper. I ran out of printer paper, and I don't know where to get it. I mean, everything's shut down except the grocery stores. Maybe my pharmacy might have some. I can check there, but boy, I tell you, everything is locked up, and so I can't even bring up my paper anymore. Okay, now 42 millimeters that's a little too big. I have some 42 millimeters, and they work great for me, but I think 40 is a little better for us. For Corona Memento watch. Okay. We'll get one with those little fuzzy things on it. Okay, or Costco. Well, Costco, go ahead. Amazon, yeah. Looks like a dinner plate. 7.25 wrist, huh? I have extra printer paper. Do you want me to send you a pack? Oh, it's okay. Not all the way from California. It would still go through the same thing. Mark, I tell you what, I owe Mark a watch. He had the best thing that we had for the little contest we had, but I've got to get. That's something I think I can find. Is what. Okay, Raj, running out of printer paper is okay. Just don't run out of poo paper. I think that's how I ran out of printer paper, Raj. Okay, let's see what's going on. 40 millimeters would be a sweet spot. That's what I'm thinking too. Do you like vintage watches? Some, yeah. I'm really not into vintage watches, to tell you the truth. There's some vintage designs I really like. And my most vintage watch is a 1930s-ish, 40-ish. And I like it because it's a mono Rattrapant, which makes it really super interesting. And I got it new old stock, but that's an exception. There's nothing wrong with them. I just I guess we all have sort of limit our interest to a certain type of watch, and that can be, but for the most part, no. You know what I like though? I really like some of these vintage movements. Man, you look at those things; they are beautiful. One of the nicest movements I have is inside that watch I mentioned, the Bovet from 1940s, and it has a Valjoux movement. I think it's an 82 or an 84. Gorgeous movement. It's just a beautiful movement. So the other thing too, a lot of the older movements, if you see the regulators jammed all the way to the left or the right, because the spring is sort of losing its springiness. I have a vintage from 43. Yeah. Some of those, some of the watches made during World War II are, a lot of military watches were I think Switzerland was making them for all sides. Hey Paul, what's up? Do you have any face masks to spare? Desperate for them here. You know what I use, Paul? I have a bandana, and I put on my bandana. Before all of this happened, my wife got a pack of face masks. That had nothing to do with this. She just happened to get them, and so we both use those when we go out because you have to use them in grocery stores here. Okay, I got a 3 Springfield that has re a rectangle movement that's nice. Huh, okay. Yeah, a rectangle movement, that's cool. Yeah, those are, Lee, I usually refer to those as shape movements. I don't know why there's round, which is considered normal, and then there's any other shape, they refer to it as a shape movement. Okay, okay, let's see what's going on. Familiar with marriage watch. Those are old pocket watches, the modern case. These make beautiful porcelain watch faces. You know something, that was something else too. If you can find a good porcelain face on an old vintage pocket watch, and you can get that to fit into with a 6497 or 98. Man, that might be a nice little project. Vintage Valjoux are very nice. Yeah, that's what essentially I have. Those are nice, and they're clear. I mean, you can see everything. The bridges are clear, and the parts are all clear. PSA breweries in your area may be bottling hand sanitizer. Now, Flip and Zippo, there's one in there's a gin distillery. Trying to think what town it is. It's in Connecticut, so everything is pretty near here. And that's what they did. They started making hand sanitizers, and I think they're giving them to all of the people working in the first responders and the nurses and everybody who needs them. That's where they're going first. I see some guy. I saw several of the first responders were using the hand sanitizer from this brewery. It was like, okay, bandana and Maurice Lacroix 736. Now that's stylish. There you go, Mark. you got an outlaw watch with a bandit mask. Okay, you guys looking for face mask? See, and a rum watch from Omega would be a perfect two-piece combo deal. There you go. I wear one all year round. Oh, really? So my wife doesn't kiss you. Okay, Illinois Springfield from the late 20s. Yeah, 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 yeah. I know a little. I've heard of it. It's funny because we have a Springfield just north of us up in Massachusetts, and they made a Springfield Rolls Royce there. And so when I hear Springfield, it's a Springfield Rolls. They couldn't have picked a worse time to start. I think they started making them in 1928 or 1929, and then a depression hit and nobody was buying anything. That would be my luck. Okay, Giza breweries in London are still bottling alcoholic beverages. Clearly, they have their priorities right. Well, yeah, they got, that was thing. I don't know if people are, stuck at home drinking or not. Maybe so. That's what do you want to do? I don't know. Let's have a drink and talk about it. Uh, Still making the good stuff. Yeah. Oh, this guy. Trying to think. Trying to remember the name of the brewery. It's some little town not too far from where we are. There are probably other breweries doing the same thing. This is what happens when you're not prepared. Hey, Tippy, what's up? The original micro brand, Time Factors, claims that Myota 9 movements has less failure rate than ETA. They may. I don't know who's got. When they have to live with me, I think their failure rate may increase because I use them all the time. Stuck at home for drinking, sure, and getting very fat. That's a big thing. I think the two big meetings that we'll be going to when this is over are the AA and Weight Watchers. Yeah, man, it's uh, yeah. They got a statistic. My weight increased, and I can't afford to drink. Yeah, man. God, I'll tell you. Um, my wife and I try to get in 5K every day, and we usually do, but we had snow. We got up and it was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches of snow this morning, and it mostly gone now. It's beautiful snow we had, but on April 18th, it's weird. Time Factors have been making watches for decades. Okie doke. What's going on? Let's see. Not a rum, but the Omega Tequila watch. Is there no end to limited editions? Yeah. Veland Dank, Hair Doctor. Okay. Bye bye, Crappy. Well, this is odd. All right. Well, how are we doing? Okay. Well, we got a little time left. Any kind of decisions, anything that you think would be the way to go? Some of you have mentioned that you'd rather have a Swiss made watch, which, and we're going to find out more about Vaucher, which is Swiss made. And we're going to get information from Chopard. And then also we're getting information from Dresden. I've already told you my preference would be the Dresden one, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe it'd be somebody else's. Okay, let's see. Beautiful day in Clydeland. Oh, Lee, yeah, you're from Oklahoma too? Lee, is that right? near Critter Creek. Seeds and acknowledgments. Yeah. Oh, good. James, do you think that Chopard will be sending you information about it, like Monday, maybe? One of the problems now is getting a hold of anyone. When I contacted Concepto, there was a big notice there, basically said, we're not here. And I called my friend up in Massachusetts at his shop, nobody there. So this is a problem right now. Hey, Travis, I would rather have a unique movement than from any specific geographic area. I agree. I just want to, the very best movement we can get our mitts on. And that's, yeah, I agree with that too. Vaucher is about $1,000. Yeah, they're about $1,000 a pop. Well, see, the idea though was to get a high quality movement. I got a feeling that the UWD may be more, but we'll see. Even if you were to get all of the Swiss parts, won't you have to label your watch "Made in USA, California"? How about Connecticut? I tell you, wherever we live, we'll have to have it for our state, okay, or our town. My town's so little, it's, say the best you can. And if the movement is made of gold, even better. Man, I tell you, Mark, there might be like gold. Some of them have gold wheels. I think this one has gold wheels in it. The gears are gold, and other parts. FP Journe put in the gold plates, but man, I tell you, that might just send the price of a movement to the moon. We don't want that. Hi, Derek. What do you think of the Omega Globemaster model? Derek, I don't know what those numbers are for that. The Globemaster, in general, I like the Globemaster, but for those specific numbers, I couldn't tell you. What the law is in the U.S. I don't think, if they got, first of all, anything imported, watches and watch parts and stuff imported to the U.S., the customs is very little. It's like, 1.2% or something, very small percentage. There was a time a while back. Oh, yeah. I sent my Christian Vanderclaw to the Netherlands to get some service on it. They sent it back, and I had to pay. I had to pay customs on it, and it wasn't very much. It was $10 or so, whatever it was. I mean, you don't worry about that if your watch is $5,000 or whatever it is, and they want $10. That's okay with me. I vote to avoid gold, precious metal as possible. Well, if they have it in certain places. One thing it'd be cool if we have a diamond on top of the balance, the balance pinion, or the balance shaft. Like they have. Hey, Paul, what's up? Yeah, I'm doing good. Paul, thanks for asking. How about yourself? Hi, Joe R. How you doing? Easier to engineer an Apollo spacecraft and figure out Omega reference numbers. Howdy, is that? Some of the reference numbers are the big long numbers. The ones I like, probably the very few people know all of the reference numbers for the movements that are in the Lang and Heim that were made by Marco Lang. And it's very easy. They're all Roman numerals, and there are 1, 2, 3. I think there was one that's missing. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I think that's as far as it goes. What's the status of the Wooten Lannon case? Any news? Yeah, I don't think we missed out anything, Fahrenheit. What they basically said, there's no way they could do a 40 millimeter with a 37 millimeter base to it. And I think that once we have a movement, that's why I'm saying if we actually have a movement that we get we can then find out. I can then communicate with them saying, look, there's 6 or 7 of us, and we all want this movement, or we all want this case. We're all using the same movement. And so what do we need to do to get it? And then I think we're in a little better place because you can have a single case made, and I'm sure some people do. They have like a bespoke case, like some people have bespoke bands. They cost more, but and that's why I think if we had a bunch of us got in there together and we're all using the same movement, said, okay, here's the movement we have, this is what we want, go from there. What do you think of the Globemaster annual calendar? I don't. I mean, I don't know it that well, Tippy. I just like the Globemaster. That's all. Hey, Rich, buddy. Overall, Omega give you great bargains if you stay at their low end of the watches. That's good to know. Diamond on top of the balance. Now wouldn't that be fun? We got and not a man-made diamond, but a mined one, which is even better. All of the Lang and Heim watches that were made by Marco Lang have that diamond, and he said it's an old German tradition. And so I looked for some German watches that also had it, and some of them did. I found some, not the well-known ones. You don't see it from A. Lange or Glashütte original, but nor Maurice Grossmann, which would be, they would be the ones I would think that would do something like that. But apparently, it is a tradition. I don't know if there's any function to it. Certainly, you're not going to have a lot of wear on the cap, this diamond cap you have, and then you have the shaft going up to the diamond. I don't know how they do that, but I think it's sort of cool. Hey, Ant, thoughts on 324 Patek movement? Anybody got thoughts on that? What about Glashütte original? Uh, well, I tell you, um, I, I don't know what to tell you, honestly. I mean, to check them out to see if they sell us a movement, Rich. Is that what you were thinking? Um, Wrist check. BC movements on the low end is in 56. Oh, okay. The low end 56. Now that's the Val Fleurier movement that's used in. It's used with Piaget, I think, in Cartier as well. I don't particularly like that movement. It's sort of like it's not a terrible movement. It's just sort of like you know kind of movement. I tell you though, here's what you guys should do. If you haven't done it already, look up UWD. Let me write it down here. Take a look at that movement and what you think about it. I love it. You have these individual bridges for each of the wheels and the wheel train. You got some just I mean, it's got Marco Lang written all over it. And it's really very cool. Hi, Hamid. How you doing, man? What do you think of Certina watches? I don't really know them that well, Hamid. Um, yeah, 56 movement is finished by BC. You know, Antho, if you go up one level of the 56, you get into really nice watches made from beginning to end by Vesser Vacheron Constantin, and there you don't have they don't have the only ones with the Val Fleurier movements are the low end metal ones. They also have a gold one, which is knocks the price way up. And I just can't see getting a gold 56 without a really good movement in it. Okay. Okay, guys, and my time's up. So now, what's today's Saturday? Listen, this you're gonna like. Tomorrow, there's going to be a collection review of someone I think all of you know. Okay, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. We've had some really great ones, and I think you're going to like this one too. Hey, Chip Cage, how are you, man? glad to glad to see you stick your head out of the water. All right, guys, listen, everybody be safe and take care. And like I said, we'll have that the first thing tomorrow morning. There'll be that review, the collection review of someone I think all of you know, and I think you'll like it. Take care.